L'attesa per la gara è alle stelle ormai e sugli spalti si respira l'aria delle grandi occasioni. Adesso è fondamentale mantenere la concentrazione mentre tutto intorno si spegne.
Ha il secondo posto in griglia, ma a semafori spenti tutto può cambiare nel giro di pochissimi secondi.
È arrivato il momento, pronti alla gara. I piloti sono pronti, i tifosi scalpitano, è il Gran Premio d'Austria. Si spengono le luci e via, partiti!
Our track conditions. There's a big accident on the start-finish straight. Stay well.
E guardate la squadra.
Renegade, mannaggia al cazzo. Genuinamente mannaggia al cazzo. Che minchia avete combinato voi due? Bonk.
E non è che la squadra possa...
I wasn't talking lightly, mainly because I saw no one on the chat, so yeah, I was just waiting for people to show up, because it would be kinda useless to talk to, you know, nothing, so here I am. I can talk. I mean, it's not really that too much of an interesting race, as usual, like the usual 1-2 for us, for the drivers by fighting it out. Right now, Vesti having a little bit of trouble keeping pace. Just got overtaken by Alonso, and then he was overtaken by Hamilton and Bottas early on, so yeah, that's pretty much the current situation here. A pretty chill race. I'm just a little bit worried because around lap 20 or something we should have a little bit of a drier period, but I'm pretty sure this is gonna be still intermediate territory, which is around 1 millimeter of rain up to 4 millimeters. Over 4 millimeters is full wets, but I don't think we're gonna use it. Yeah, no, I can see ya. I mean, usually just check out the YouTube chat to see if people are there, but I'll just keep an eye on Discord as well, I guess. That's probably what I need to do. Also, we're starting to have blue flags already on lap 12. I mean, to be completely honest, Van Dorn, Ocon, Albon and Ricciardo all had some kind of issues during this first few laps, considering they like crashed into each other or onto other people, so yep, the race is going as planned, I guess. Pretty fucking much. Let's see, the blue flags. There we go. Who will the safety car? I have no idea. Right now, of course, we had some crashes, like for example, Albon is racing with, whatever the hell this is, and I am not sure on how he's keeping Ocon at bay or he's still racing at all, but here it is, and yeah, I feel like probably safety car will happen eventually. I'm just a little bit of afraid of if the intermediates will be the right tire around this period, because as you can see it's gonna get pretty dry. I just hope it's not gonna be dry at all. So for now we're just gonna burn up the intermediates and then get another stint on the intermediates instead of going to the end. So by doing this we should be able to have a good race pace throughout the entire race and push a little bit and have a little bit of fun. Of the cars or the teams, I don't think they are going for a 1-stop or a 0-stop, mainly because as you can see they are also even on a worse tire wear than us, so probably they're gonna try and do a stop eventually, of course. But that being said, yeah, what can I say? What can I say really? Right now we are in this situation. We got Albon in this problem. There are not many battles, like the last one we had was Alonso versus Vesti, but he got overtaken on, so not a lot of fighting. There's Norris versus Russell maybe, who is edging into the second window, although there's no DRS right now. And yeah, other than that, we are just racing, just having a little bit of fun, waiting for something to happen, and just pacing ourselves to get away from Perez and have a little bit of a briefing gap to then try and do any other kind of strategy if needed. What would Crafty say right now? No bloody idea. I guess something like it's raining cats and dogs or something like that. I don't know too many British language things, so I guess I'll just talk as I usually do. Crafty would be, of course, talking about Lewis Hamilton's race, how brilliant it is, and how he's trying to get close to Perez. Also, what the fuck is how we are doing? That was borderline terrorism, but alright. But yeah, as Hauger gets past Piastri, and Piastri is struggling a little bit with the kick-sauber, which is a little bit to be expected considering what kind of car he's driving. Yeah, we don't have a lot of battles on track, but still we can see maybe Vesti got a little bit closer to Alonso, so maybe can try and use the McLaren to get past the Aston Martin. Can you do a British accent? I feel like I'm actually trying or doing it right now, but yeah, I don't know, mates. This is bloody weather for this bloody race, and I feel like we're gonna see some brilliant or terrific racing tonight. Or day, I don't know what kind of time zone it is. In the places not touched by the glorious British Empire, by the Victorian Queen. Or something like that. I think like British people talk like that. I mean, not really. I actually talk to a few British people in my entire life. They're not. I mean, I don't get the whole British accent thing. Like, I mean, I get the difference between British and American accent, but like, it's not so dramatic. Maybe, I don't know. There's like some way of saying in British language that are a little bit silly, but other than that, I don't feel like there's too much of a difference. The big difference comes from like British versus Scottish accent, maybe, because you know, British is like feels like normal English. Then you got Scottish, which is like, "Aye, mates, we're gonna have the race of our life." So yep, that's pretty much how it works, I feel like. Meanwhile, Vesti still trying. Also, Russell ran away from Norris, and now he's pressuring Maloney, who has a little bit of an issue on his engine once again, hoping it doesn't explode this time. Trying to get British passport. Hey, accent. I don't fucking know. Piero, fuck off. Literally. I don't know how to say that if not with a fuck off. I mean, you can literally see it's not gonna be dry enough to go onto the slicks. Especially now, which is fucking 3.51 millimeters of rain. Like, I'm gonna pull 3.5 fucking millimeters of gun in your head if you ask again to put Giovinazzi on the dry tires in a wet weather situation. Anyway, that being said, Russell gets past Maloney, and now he's trying to chase after Vesti. So let's see if he can actually manage to do that or not. Also, Hauger still fighting with Mick Schumacher, and Piastri actually got back through Hauger, so good for him, I guess. But still, Alonso now pressuring Bottas unexpectedly. So let's see if Aston Martin can actually do something, or we'll have to, I don't know, wait, maybe. It would be make the race exciting. It would fucking ruin Giovinazzi's race. Like, why would you do that? I'm not sure he can recover like 25 seconds worth of lap. Actually, more than 25, because you gotta stop him. And also, Bottas just went wide and decides that he doesn't want to live anymore. Bottas, what the fuck are you doing? Bottas, get back on track. What the fuck is he doing? Bottas! Well, there goes the points for the Mercedes, I guess. Why the fuck would you do that? Bottas, what's your problem? Like, literally, what the hell was that? Right, so, yeah, Bottas decides that he doesn't want to live anymore for some reason. And we are back with the usual business, let's say, with Maloney versus Norris. Once again, I feel like Norris probably got through earlier on, but now they are fighting. Let's see. Yeah, Maloney cannot get through on this corner and has to wait a little bit. So yeah, I have no clue of what the fuck was Bottas doing, but I guess it was his way of saying that he doesn't want to live anymore or something like that. So, yep, with that being said, like, the main thing is like, Giovinazzi, yes, he's managed to gain 10 seconds to Perez, but think about it. If he had to go onto the slicks, yeah, I can show you. Here it is. As you can see, yeah, it's gonna get a little bit drier, but as you can see, the blue line, which shows the wet weather, the wetness of the track, doesn't go to 0. And if you ask yourself, usually the dry tires is around 0 to 0.8 worth of, you know, rain to actually walk. So the main point you maybe just think about the slicks is around lap 40, but it's like, I don't know, a 5-lap stint. So why the fuck would you do that? So yeah, we're not gonna mount the intermediates. We're gonna go still for a one-stop strategy just to be fast as fuck. So by doing that, we should technically have a pretty nice race without too many issues. But of course, this is not the bloody fucking time to go into the slicks. Now, Norris, Russell, Maloney, all fighting for the same piece of tarmac, for P7 of course. And we gotta see how this is gonna work. Also, what the fuck did you just send me? Wait a fucking minute. Yeah, was answering a thing real quick. Anyway, as Russell gets a little bit further away, now Norris and Maloney are once again close one to each other. Got for the no-stopper with Giovinazzi. It's a little bit too late for that. We should have started saving tires a long time ago, and we didn't, so we cannot go back now. So yep, sorry Piero, you came in too late, and now we're just gonna stay on the strategy. The only thing that can change my mind is of course a safety car, which is kind of likely considering the kind of crashes we had up to now. And as people get past our friend Stoffel Van Dorn, we can see still the battle for P8 raging on. And also, lads, I gotta show you something. This is Albon. He had a crash early on, and now he's running with what's left of his rear tire. So yeah, I guess that's the main point of his race now. So yeah, while the discussion for Giovinazzi's race goes on, I guess I just gotta show you this picture, which I feel like is kinda appropriate. There we go. So this is what it feels like to discuss the strategy with our friend Pierre here. But now, that being said, let's go back racing. And as you can see, Norris still trying his absolute best to stay close to Russell and maybe, and I say just maybe, get past him and maybe go into a better position. Also, fastest lap right now for Lewis Hamilton, and we got a yellow flag, and I guess it's Bottas. Yep, I feel like Bottas just fucking died. Let's see what happened very soon enough. He had a spin, so let's see. Yeah, I feel like Bottas felt like not leaving anymore once again, so he just decides to try out if the the gravel zone works or not, and turns out it works. Also, this guy here, best position ever. But yeah, we are back racing, and as you can see, the battle for P7 is raging on quite hard, and also Hamilton is pushing to try and catch Perez, which is something we're looking forward to, maybe. So, let's see, Norris will try and have a little bit of a look on Russell inside, but Russell manages to defend quite well. Let's go on board with Norris, actually. Yeah, pretty much like Turkey, kind of. But let's see, can he try and do something here around turn 4? I mean, we know that turn 4 is, well, an overtaking opportunity here in Austria, but it's also the place where Perez had a little bit too much trolling in past years. So, although Perez is, I mean, he's still a factor in this race, I wouldn't consider him too much to be the kind of guy who would do this kind of thing once again. Would be funny though, if he does, but I hope not. I mean, if you had an engine issues, we would see that, because there's like this, yellow thingy or red thingy next to the name on the leaderboard. But as you can see, there's nothing near to Bottas, so yeah, that's pretty much a skill issue from his side, which is, well, unfortunate, I have to say, but it is what it is. So meanwhile, our favorite terrorist, George Russell, in the middle of a McLaren sandwich, which is turning out to be quite an intense battle, I feel like, but as for now, he has to, well, try and survive. Norris having a little bit of a look, maybe he's gonna go for it. Nope, he's not. He's gonna, yes he is. Yes, he's gonna clip through Russell, because why the fuck not? And now, a drag race towards turn 4. Russell doesn't really want to be on the outside of turn 4, but Norris really wants him to be there, so maybe there is a good reason for that, but decides to, avoid doing some crazy stuff now, and they stay in the same positions as they were before. Also, little shout out to Tsunoda, which is right now running the points, although I don't know for how long, due to, I don't know, Kevin Magnussen maybe. I mean, it's in a good position, but it's still a long race, so we still have much to see. A drag race, yep. He's gonna cook meth, I guess. Not gonna show instructions on how to cook meth on stream. I'm pretty sure that's a little bit illegal, but that's alright, I guess. Now, let's see. Can Norris use the slipstream and maybe try another attack here on the, well, on the run towards turn 3? Is it turn 3 actually? Turn 1? Like, I'm pretty sure like there's a little bit of a kink here on the second straight, which is considered a corner, so it's like this thing here is turn 3. And yeah, now that I think about it, it makes sense, because next corner is turn 4, so 4 comes after 3, so it would make sense that is turn 3. But that being said, once again, the sandwich gets formed once again, and is actually Tsunoda going faster than Maloney, I just noticed. Like, he's actually catching Maloney. Also, Leclerc had enough and decides to do the fastest lap, although I didn't tell him to push or anything, so good stuff, I guess. And also another little bit of an engine issue for someone, which is Maney, of course. The main issue of the car is the Alpine, of course. So let's see. Will George Russell try and do something about Vesti. Or will Vesti actually be able to, you know, defend the position, stay there, and do something? He's using a little bit of battery, you can see that by how he extended a little bit of gap on the exit of the last corner, and probably is gonna extend here if he's still using battery. Not much really, probably still on standard, so now everyone is close together. Will George Russell go for it, or will he become a terrorist for this time and this time only? Having a little bit of a look, having a little bit of a clipping moment, of course, and having a little bit of an overtaking maneuver, although it's a little bit questionable, but I guess we'll accept it. Vesti trying to fight back, but I don't think he actually got the space to do that. Also, fastest lap for Alex Albon, somehow, without the rear wing. Here we go. He doesn't want to be there, but thankfully, nothing funny happens and Vesti manages to defend the position. But for how long? Because Russell is coming back, maybe into the braking zone here. Will he try something? Yes, he will. Yes, he will, and he's gonna try his best to get ahead before the other corner, and he does. Oh my fucking god, Pierre. Jesus fucking Christ, Pierre, you are literally not made for strategies. Let that be known. Anyway, Russell gets through, and now let's see. Can Vesti, can Norris find a way to, you know, not fight each other, or will they, you know, give themselves a war that they cannot win? Let's see. Norris having a little bit of a look once again. Will he try and do the classic maneuver we saw on this corner all this time? He's probably gonna do it, I swear to god. Yes, he is. Once again, a little bit of contact probably, but it's alright, it's a little bit of a love tap, so I guess nothing too bad here. Also, how are tires doing? Pretty fucking well, so yep, everything is fine. We should be close to the dry window. Yeah, should be getting a little bit drier, but as I said, it's not dry enough. Also, Maloney and Tsunoda getting one against each other, and Tsunoda managed to overtake Maloney, so yep, Tsunoda going for it. So he's now a little bit of a threat, even for the McLarens, which are yet fighting each other. So Vesti doesn't want to give the position to Norris, and Norris, of course, knowing that he's a little bit faster, I feel like he's gonna, you know, having a little bit of a conversation on the radio about possible team rules, papaya rules as they say, and finding a way through. Tsunoda also sets the fastest lap in all of this, so yeah, he's currently pushing, and that's probably another reason why Norris kind of wants to get through his friend Vesti. Tsunoda getting very, very close to Norris. I feel like he may be trying something. Let's see, McLaren's doing everything they can to not collaborate, of course, and as Norris is trying his absolute best, he's still not through, and without the DRS it's gonna be quite difficult. We're getting below 2 millimeters of rain, so yeah, it's getting quite drier, but not enough, and meanwhile Leclerc decides to go for a fastest lap, while in all of this Tsunoda manages to overtake Norris, so yep, this is a man on a mission, I guess. So I don't know how Tsunoda is doing this, but he's doing this, and I feel like he may have a better chance to overtake Vesti than Norris ever had, which would translate to a little bit of a skin issue, but I guess it's fine, probably. Also in all this, Hamilton getting closer to Perez. We will watch that battle later on, if they get below the second window. But while that happens, we also got fastest lap for Russell, and I feel like it's gonna be a fastest lap for Tsunoda. Nope, it's not. Leclerc informs us that rain is picking up once again, so yep, as I said, going out to the slicks is not a good fucking idea. And now Tsunoda trying to get close to Vesti, but Vesti pulling a little bit of a gap. So now things are gonna get probably a little bit staler here. Although I feel like Norris, after this little bit of a battery charge with Tsunoda, he's gonna be trying to get past once again, and then, you know, trying once again and overtake Vesti. Although at this point I feel like probably team orders would have been a good idea for Norris, but McLaren being McLaren, I guess. I mean, I can't really blame them after what they've done in Monaco, so yep. Right now, Norris just got to suffer. Got to suffer the traffic of not one, but two slower cars, surely. Let's see, can he actually find a way by Tsunoda, or will he have to, I don't know, come up with something, probably. As for now, he is trying to get close. Maybe with the slipstream, maybe. A little bit of battery usage would be absolutely fantastic. He's having a look into turn 1, which is not a good idea. Jesus fucking Christ, Norris, that would have been catastrophic. Let's see now, back into the slipstream. He's gonna do the classic. He's gonna look on the left. I feel like he's gonna go on the right, maybe. Yes, but Tsunoda moves a little bit late. And now they're once again close to each other, but without the chance to get an overtake done. Also, Hamilton finally closer to Perez. So now the battle for P3 may be starting around here. So let's just ignore Norris and his personal struggles with people below a certain height limit. And now let's watch this battle. What can our friend Lewis Hamilton do? Will he be able to complete the maneuver on Perez, or will he just, I don't know, wait? The grip on the wet, it's unreal. Nah, it's okay, it's fine. I mean, I do be like that sometimes. Sometimes you just gotta grip a little bit just to be faster. Let's see though, Hamilton having a little bit of a look, but not trying anything too stupid just of yet. He's probably just waiting maybe for another occasion. Maybe he's just waiting to recharge the battery and then use it for a final attack on Perez. But as for now, he's waiting behind the Red Bull, waiting for an occasion, waiting for something to happen. And as for now, he has not found a way through just as yet. Also, Norris managed to get through Tsunoda apparently, so maybe his struggle is finally over. We hope so. And let's see, where can Lewis Hamilton actually try and do something. Let's go with the onboard camera, the funny one. Let's see. So Bottas now finally has an engine issue, so yep, it's not escalation anymore. And now, let's see, with slipstream, maybe battery usage, can Lewis Hamilton do something about Perez, or will Perez be able to defend the position? Now he's getting closer into turn 1, having a look, but once again, no way through. Now, towards turn 3, will Lewis be able to try and pick a nice braking spot, or will he, you know, accept the fact that he's not gonna get through now? Having a look once again, but once again, Perez manages to defend quite well, so still nothing happening here. Nothing too bad at least. Can he get maybe turn 4? Having a look, but once again, it's better to wait, to have a little bit battery, and then try something absolutely crazy when you get the chance. Which of course could be this lap or not. The fuel load could, actually I think it does. Usually having a lower fuel load actually gets you a little bit more tire saving, let's say, which can be noted because at some point you can see that compared to what you actually expect the tire wear to be by pushing like this, it goes a little bit over it. Not by much of course, but just a little bit. Also Hamilton has an issue as we actually look on him, so I feel like this overtake may not be done just as yet, so let's get back to an interesting battle right here. But yes, the fuel load actually has a little bit of an influence on the tire wear. It's not really too crucial, but it can be marginal enough to make some strategies work sometimes, especially on track like Qatar or Spain where tire wear is quite high. Here of course now it's a wet race, so we don't really have a tire wear issue since the intermediate tires work really well and they last quite long, as you can see. But yeah, on some dry races it can be quite a factor to consider. Meanwhile, let's see if Norris can finally get through Vesti or will have to wait. I feel like he's gonna go for the funny maneuver. Of course he is. Of course he is. And this time he manages to do so by pushing Vesti wide. So Vesti probably not the happiest man in the world, but in the end Norris managed to get through, and now he can finally chase after Russell, which is gonna take a little bit of a while because now the gap is 2.8 seconds of course. Now back to the fight for P3. As you can see, the battle is on. Number 44 versus number 11. The Mexicans versus the British. And soon enough we're also getting closer to our first and only pit window. First of all with Leclerc, which I guess we can make him push a little bit now. Although there's really no reason to make him do that, but let's just have a little bit of fun and maybe get a fastest lap if we can. So while we burn the intermediates we have left with Leclerc, we wait now for Hamilton to try and do an overtake for P3 down the inside, and once again probably a little bit of the classic argy-bargy we usually see in this corner. But now, of course, the battle rages on. The most respectful McLaren battle. I mean, I've seen worse, so it's okay. Let's see now, Hamilton actually trying round turn 4. Oh shit, he's going for it. He's going for it, and it's managing to do it on turn 4. So Perez absolutely mugged off on that corner, trying to fight back though. He's gonna be able, not enough. So yeah, although he's trying to fight back on Hamilton, Hamilton got the position, and now he's probably trying to run away as fast and as far as possible from Sergio Perez. So the dominance in P3 for Perez ends up after 32 laps of racing, which is quite a lot really, but still it's probably not what Red Bull expected to have. Also considering that Albon is kind of out of the picture after the crash with which was it? Was it Ricciardo or was it Albon? I can't remember. Someone crashed into, actually Albon crashed into someone, and it was Ocon. Yeah, it was Albon and Ocon. So yeah, that being said, I feel like Perez hasn't really, you know, given up just yet, because he's trying to have a little bit of a look and maybe trying to set up something in turn 4, and he is indeed, because I feel like he's using all he has to try and do a lunge into turn 4. So let's see what Perez can do. He's gonna brake late. Yes, he is trying to stay around outside. He's gonna be close, and he's gonna keep it. Very nice maneuver for now, but will he be able to complete the overtake into the next corner? He has the inside line. Hamilton tries to keep it round outside, and he manages to, so they're going still side by side. Fantastic battle between these two, and they're still at it. This is the kind of battle you don't usually see in Formula 1, but it's great to see, of course. And now let's see, into the last few corners, someone has to, of course, lift, otherwise he's gonna get wide, and in the end it was Perez who went a little bit wide and had to let Hamilton through. So, fantastic battle between these two. And now let's see if he can find a way through. Meanwhile, Leclerc absolutely burning the tires. Now we're gonna tell Giovinazzi to do the same, of course, as we're getting closer to the pit window. And let's see, meanwhile Norris is one of the first guys to go into the pit lane. Sorry if we cut away from the battle, we're gonna go there quite soon. But as he gets onto another set of intermediates, we can see now Sergio Perez still staying closer to Hamilton and maybe having another chance. I feel like it's a little bit too far away. Yep, 4 tenths, it's not enough to try and do a lunge into turn 4. So I feel like he's just gonna be there to watch Hamilton go through and probably wait patiently for another occasion to present himself. So meanwhile, we're 1 lap away from pitting with Leclerc, so we're doing pretty well. And let's see what can Sergio do, if he can do anything. As of now, I feel like probably Hamilton is a little bit faster, although he has a little bit of an engine issue, but should be a temporary engine issue, something that can be resolved quite easily. So for now, I feel like he's gonna have to accept the fact that he's there. He could still try probably an undercut. It could work, considering that we are literally on the pit window for most of the strategies. So if he does, he can still have a chance to, you know, get ahead of Hamilton and bring this fight once again to another lap. Would be a smart choice in my opinion. If I were Red Bull, I would consider the idea of doing a pit stop. But at this point, I feel like Hamilton could do the same thing. And although Perez is keeping up with pace, probably having pressure tire could be a little bit of a better choice, let's say. So let's see, can Perez do something here on turn 4? Closer this time, but once again, nothing to do here. Now we're entering the pit window for Leclerc, and we're gonna tell him to box and put another set of intermediates. We are around lap 35, and this is the trial we're gonna get, which is, I feel like probably 1 millimeter flat, if I have to guess, but of course we don't know yet, because usually the forecast is not too accurate, so probably it's gonna be oh, virtual safety car, alrighty. I guess we're gonna pit Giovinazzi as well, using the safety car. So yeah, lucky us, I guess. Let me just be sure that we get Leclerc the right tires. And let's see, will these two guys use the virtual safety car to go into the pit lane, or will they, you know, not do that? Yes, they will. So I'll tell our boys to avoid doing stuff. Let's see what happened. Stoffel went on, going through the last few corners. I feel like probably Spanning got into the wall. Yes, it did. And that's a hard impact. And I feel like his power unit is gonna take a little bit of a blow. So, yep, not a great day for Williams, but one car out can happen. So, as this happens, Hamilton Perez are gonna fight each other in the pit lane. So, who's gonna have the fastest pit crew? I feel like Ferrari did. Yep, pretty much still ahead. So as this goes on, of course, as we see all the drivers getting through the pit lane, we wait for Leclerc, which is of course on to use tires, which are gonna get less used in just a while. Go into the pit lane, and we're gonna do a little bit of a double stack, although we have the window to do so. And we're gonna do that because, you know, it's not a good idea to let all the drivers have like 10 seconds of free stops. So, yep, we're gonna take the occasion and do our pit stop right now. So I'm just a little bit afraid of traffic. Like usually you can get a little bit held up in the pit lane if you're unlucky, but at the same time we have enough of a gap to not to worry too much about it. And I feel like this was a good stop actually. Let's see Giovinazzi. Thankfully they were separated enough to make this a pretty chill stop, let's say. Of course we're gonna be not so fast with Giovinazzi, but that's to be expected a little bit. And now, as the virtual safety car continues, we're gonna have Leclerc to save a little bit of tires, of course, now that he can. And then of course go on to push like once again once the safety car is over. So yeah. Now a little bit of a stop in this race, which is gonna last a little bit. Of course, we're gonna stop lifting and coasting in a while. Usually in the wet, it's quite easier to save tires. And once again, it's getting drier, but I feel like staying on the intermediates is the best choice we have right now. I don't think anyone else went for the slicks. Would be kind of crazy. That's what I expected. And probably instead of pushing, we're gonna try and keep temperature by saving a little bit of the intermediates during this stint. So. More likely we're not gonna tell Leclerc and Giovinazzi to push, because otherwise our tires would pretty much fry, and by having not much water on track that would be kind of suboptimal, let's say. So now we wait a little bit. Also, Russell has the fastest lap, don't know how that happened. And wait a fucking minute, where is Norris? Oh wait, right, Norris didn't pit during the virtual safety car, so he lost positions to Tsunoda, Vesti and so on. Oh boy, that's kind of funny, also a little bit unfortunate, but alrighty. So let's go pushing, now that we get to the green flag, of course. And there we go, safety car is over. We can actually stop lifting and coasting. I feel like we're gonna be able to save tires right now. And although we are getting closer to a dry period where the slick tires could actually work, I'm not gonna go for the dry tires because it's gonna start raining once again, and the time we're gonna gain with the slick tires is not gonna be enough. We'll completely refill the battery and try the fastest lap now, since it won't get any drier. Yeah, that's actually a good idea, but let's see. I feel like it could be actually a good idea, so let's actually go for it now. So Leclerc, this is gonna be our fastest lap attempt. We're gonna push as hard as we can in this exact lap, although we have a little bit of traffic, but I feel like actually... wait. I feel like there's another safety car. Is it? Vesti just locked up. Let me see. So we got a restart and Vesti instantly fucked it up, so probably we're not gonna go for the fastest lap just as yet. I feel like it's just a yellow flag, shouldn't be a BSC, I hope so. I'm gonna keep him pushing, yep, it was just a yellow flag, so let's see. Fastest lap attempt from Charles Leclerc. Let's see what he can do. Also, this should warm up the tires quite a lot, which is, well, not something I'm looking forward to. Giovinazzi gets the fastest lap, of course, but this, considering that we are pushing like hell, should be way faster with with Leclerc. And of course, that once this is done, here we go, now the track is dry enough to actually have DRS. So technically we could go for the slicks tires, but I feel like that would be a pretty bad idea. Once again, and considering how this is gonna get wetter once again and so on, so it's like probably better to stay on the tire that is gonna be faster for the longest time instead of like pitting every single time to get the fastest lap, tire available for just a few laps. So now, let's see, this should be faster. Yep, purple, and I feel like the last sector is gonna be purple as well. So let us see. And I feel like this is gonna be the fastest lap. Yes, it is. Now we're gonna go back to get back a little bit of battery with both drivers, and we should be fine, I feel like. Yep, Giovinazzi didn't manage to get the fastest lap, and this should be quite an unbeatable lap time. Let's see. 1:08.7. I mean, probably with lighter fuel load, probably we should see maybe someone beat that lap time, but of course it's gonna get wetter later on, so I don't feel like it's gonna happen actually. So right now, of course, we're gonna try and save the tires, mainly because we know that with having so little wetness for now on the track, it's gonna be harder to keep the tires cool. So we're gonna try and tell the drivers to, you know, keep the tires alive because it's gonna degrade quite faster. And then once we get back to the wet, we're gonna start going with normal pace once again. So Hamilton probably is gonna gain a little bit in this section. This is trying to burn the tires, and although we could actually, it's better to, you know, avoid any confusions and anything that could actually end up having a little bit of repercussions on the end of the race. So as for now, as Hamilton keeps the position and Perez struggles to keep pace, Alonso manages to keep his car in P5, then we get Russell, then Tsunoda and Norris still fighting it out, with Norris once again struggling to overtake the RB. And now that there's DRS, of course, it's gonna be even harder. As you can see, Tsunoda even has DRS, I don't know how that happened, but now maybe with DRS, Norris could be able to make an easy pass, maybe. I hope for him, but of course, it's not gonna be as easy as one may think. 0.95, it's, yeah, borderline dry, but of course I don't feel like it's a good idea to go into the slicks tires. So yeah, as you can see, saving the tires and still we're getting into temperature, so good idea to not push too much. Let's see now, Norris trying to go for it here, but our friend Tsunoda still keeps on defending. DRS should be open for the McLaren, yes it is. It's gonna try and go down the inside into turn 1, which may look like a good idea, but you should remember that, well, Tsunoda gets fucking killed into turn 1 by another terrorist attack by Lando Norris, and so he finally gets through and can try now to catch maybe George Russell. Also, little note, in all of this, Piastri got into the point by overtaking Vesti when he locked up, and now he's fighting Maloney and getting through Maloney somehow, so yeah, the kickstarter is back, I guess, when the track gets a little bit drier, so maybe the car is just a little bit of a boat when there's water on track. Yeah. Interesting situation, surely. Let me just answer a real quick to a thing. Right. And as we say in Italy, al momento gaming. So as Piastri now runs away as fast as possible and Tsunoda got mugged off, I feel like Maloney is gonna still use the DRS while he still has it to try and keep close to Piastri and then probably get overtaken on. Maloney has that engine issue, same as Hamilton, which, I mean, last time out it was a little bit of a foreshadowing because Maloney literally exploded at some point, when instead Hamilton like had a puncture in the last few laps of the race. So let's see if Maloney can find a way through, maybe do something about it, or maybe not. He's gonna go for it, and we got now once again wet track, so no more DRS for lads, and now it's gonna get a lot harder for the Ferrari driver. So that being said, I can see that no one is watching the stream, so probably just chill out a little bit and avoid talking too much to save a little bit of energy. So let's just enjoy the race and, I don't know, maybe say something once in a while. Yeah, we got Hauger versus Mick Schumacher. I feel like Mick should be faster with Aston Martin, very likely. Also we got Gasly versus Maini. Was it damaged? No way, actually the Albon is the one damaged and then he's managing to gain positions, so good for him. But yeah, right now the only big battle here is Maloney versus Piastri. Let's see what he can do. Also, yeah, we can stop saving battery. I feel like we're good. My head, having a little bit of headache. Don't know why. Had it in the past few days, but I guess it's fine. Nothing too hard. He is still close. Maloney may have a little look in the next few laps. Also, there is a Haas. I think it's Daniel Ricciardo, probably lapped because of the damage he had. But let's see, can they get through? Can they do something? Or will they have to wait until the end of times? Yeah, no, Ricciardo decides to get out of the way, which is a smart choice. And now, Maloney getting closer once again. Maybe he's gonna be able to try it into turn 3. Let us see. Having a little bit of a look now, but of course it's a little bit too early to try something. But he's gonna go for it, I feel like, into turn 4. Oof. Once again, the terrorist attack. A classic of this corner, as we've seen all race long. And now they side by side. And curiously, seems like the Ferrari engine of the Kick Sauber is a little bit stronger, or maybe just is deploying battery, which could be an option, but still side by side. But I feel like Piastri got it. So yep, Maloney not able to overtake the Kick Sauber just of yet. Now also we got wetter tires, sorry, a wetter surface, so we can start pushing a little bit more with the tires. I mean, nothing too drastic, but of course we can get a little bit more comfortable with the tire temperature. So that being said, as you can see, Zayn Maloney trying his absolute best to overtake our friend here. Also Norris not gaining time on Russell, which is, well, unfortunate, I have to guess, for the British. Well, let's see, can Maloney find a way through the Kick Sauber? Once again he's gonna try into turn 3. Round outside this time. But nope, nothing to do. The car cannot turn enough. So maybe into turn 4 he's gonna be able to do something. Maybe. You can stay close, but not close enough for the maneuver. In all of this, Albon is still trying to charge back, and he has reached Dennis Hauger, so he's gonna probably try and overtake him quite soon enough. But let's go back to Maloney. Once again, this is an interesting fight. Let's watch it from the helicopter cam, maybe. Yep, should be a good idea. Let me do like this. There we go. Let's see what he can do this time. I feel like probably Piastri is pushing a little bit this time with the battery, because 7/10 is a lot. Four tenths right now, 5/10 actually. Getting a little bit difficult for friend Maloney. Trying his best to find a way through, but still nothing to do. No way to get ahead of the Kick Sauber. And now he's once again thinking about turn 4. Will he be able to do it this time? I think not. So yep, as the battle rages on between these two, of course, the race got a little bit staler with bigger gaps and everything happening. Also, we are lapping up until P12, so we are absolutely flying in this race as well. So I feel like almost everyone will have to do a lap less this race because of us, but it is what it is when you're a dominant team, I guess. Can Zane Maloney find it in turn 1? Having a look. But not too much of a look. Oh, he's gonna go for the terrorist attack this time. Trying, but not close enough. Is it getting wetter? I feel like it is. Actually, it's getting a little bit drier, but it's gonna be a little wetter later on, so it's gonna be fine. Also, Bottas getting a little bit of a worse luck with the engine, so stuff not going as he probably wanted. Let's see if Zane Maloney can find something here. Not just yet. Staying close. Also, they are reaching Tsunoda, I feel like, both of them. Right now 2.5 the gap. I haven't actually seen if Tsunoda is going faster or slower right now, and I don't really care too much. But maybe, and I say just maybe, he could make it. I was gonna go for it. Having a look. A shy look, I have to say. But nothing more than that. Yep, he's trying his absolute best, but of course it's hard to pass in these conditions, so I can't really blame him too much. As Giovinazzi is pointing out, rain is coming a little bit harder now, so should be better for our tires. Still keeping them in check, which is the best thing we can do, really. Zane Maloney is looking closer this time, so maybe he's gonna try around outside. No, it's not gonna work, surely. And now he's gonna try maybe turn 4. Just maybe. Or maybe not. And doing a little something in the background, so if you don't hear me, it's because of that. So sorry about that. But yeah, still racing, yeah. It's gonna be a little bit of a still situation for a little while. So except if I notice something happening, like maybe Perez getting a little bit closer to Hamilton, so maybe we're gonna see a fight. Also, Maloney has an issue, so probably this marks the end of his charge against Piastri, which would be a little bit of a shame, but can happen. But yeah, that being absolutely said, we have a yellow flag for, I feel like, a lockup. No, actually, up spin by Ricciardo. Let's see. We're on turn 4. Yep, a little unlucky, but can happen. So yeah, unlucky. But nothing too bad.
così di colpo
So let's go back to Perez because he has catched up to Hamilton, so maybe he can get back to the podium. My pedal. Can he do it? Let us see, let's.
Keep us updated on track condition.
Yeah, got dryer once again, so now the RS is once again available. And now we're gonna once again tell them to save tires to avoid getting them to heat up. Meanwhile, Perez manages to get through Hamilton, so Hamilton surely now has a job, has something to do, which is of course trying to stop Perez. So the battle for the podium is actually kind of more fought than I would expect. Like, I felt like Hamilton would have like this in the back, but nope, looks like not. And as you can see, he wants to fight for it. And boy, is he fighting for this one. It's not gonna be as easy as Perez may have liked, or either Hamilton would have liked. So, yep. Once again, we are wet. I mean, the track is wet, not us. So let's go back onto normal pace. And let's keep on watching this battle because Perez versus Hamilton once again reaching on for P3. And I feel like this may go right to the end of the race if things stay like this. Which could be kind of interesting, I feel like. But yeah, let's see. Who is close once again? Round down 4. Will it try it? Nope, not yet. I feel like Perez is going a little bit faster now, probably managing to distance himself from Hamilton, which could mark the end of this battle. But I don't know, I feel like Hamilton probably is saving a little bit of battery and will try something later on. So, as he may start to run away now, I feel like this battle is just not over just yet. So, we'll keep an eye on these two, but of course this is the current situation with Perez having a little bit of the upper hand on the Ferrari as for now. Meanwhile, Norris now is starting to catch a little bit Russell, but I don't know if he's gonna be able to actually catch him before the end of the race. Alonso once again navigating in the middle of nowhere, fighting his own race against his own car. And all the while, the only other battle I can see is Vesti versus Maloney, so once again the rivalry between rookies rages on. The battle of rookies, we could say. He's gonna rook him. Yeah, also considering that Maloney has that engine issue on the car. Surely this is not gonna be too hard for our friend Vesti, but of course he still has to make the maneuvers, so there's a little bit of fighting at least. Going towards the last corner. He's really close. Yep, I feel like probably he's gonna go for it into turn 1 as well. Also, Magnussen getting a lot closer than usual to those two. So maybe he has a chance for 4 points if he manages to, I don't know, overtake Vasti if possible. But now, of course, Maloney as an easy target gets overtaken easily by Vasti, and Magnussen has a little look. Let's watch from on board from Magnussen, as he maybe thinks about going round inside here. He does, but he doesn't really have the brakes to do so. So he has to kind of wait for his occasion to, you know, materialize in the next few laps. You know, one I like to say unpopular, but it's kind of popular, I feel like, opinion is that the Haas on board has always looked kind of nice, especially on the new cars. So yeah, I like the color scheme and how the Haas livery has always been. Nice to see. Anyway, Magnussen versus Maloney. Let's see, can he find a way through? Trying on the last 2 corners. I think it's gonna go for it. Yes, he is, and it's gonna be way easier than anyone would expect. So Magnussen up to P11, and well, as he has a shot to points, but of course it's not gonna be easy because Vasti Austrians, you know, there are still very fast drivers, and he's on a Haas. So yeah, it's gonna take a little bit more than he would have liked to try and get maybe some points. Although, you know, 1.7 gaining on Vasti, so maybe there's a little bit of a chance. Who knows? Hamilton meanwhile getting closer to Perez, but I feel like once again he's waiting a little bit longer for his counter-attack. So this battle is on a stale for now. Now we'll keep on concentrating on battles that are more likely to have cooler, let's say, resolutions. So meanwhile, let's see Leclerc, who's been dominating this race right now, just chilling in P1, 17.9 seconds away from Antonio Giovinazzi, and well, with 15 laps to go, just chilling and literally not even pushing too hard, just trying to get the car to the end, which is, I guess, like what he should have been doing for a little while. Same thing with Antonio Giovinazzi, which is a little bit of traffic, but that's to be expected, and is now having blue flags on an Alpine and getting through to maybe try and, I don't know, I would like to say get some positions, but it's more like keeping the pace to avoid Perez and Hamilton to get too close to them. Right now, of course, without pushing too much the tire, we are doing quite well with Tower. And as I say that, I can see now the battle between these two keep on going. Also Maloney is getting back close to Magnussen, which is also something to keep in mind, but that's outside the point, so I'm not too interested on that. So let's see. Lewis getting back closer to our friend here. Can he do something to Perez, or will Perez do the Perez and Perez the Perez? Let's Perez this. It's gonna be Perezing all over. It's Perezing time. Lap 58 out of 71. The top 3, the top 2 actually, still without any variation. But of course P3 still to play. And this battle, it's all there is to play. Lewis still having a little bit of an issue with his car, so he's hoping he can actually get it resolved, or if it's not getting resolved, at least you know, not fight too much with the car and get past Perez once it's possible. But yeah, Perez pushing once again, I feel like, because the gap went a little bit up. Let's watch this from the Perez cam, the B-built cam. Let's see. Hamilton, of course, not wanting to let this one go, and they are both getting close to some blue flags. Hamilton close enough. 0.6. I feel like he's getting a little bit closer than usual. So maybe this next lap could be a little bit of a battle between these two. Let's see on the main straight if he's close enough. I feel like probably there's a little bit of a blue flag ahead that's giving a little bit of an headache to Perez, but I'm not too sure. Let me just check to be sure. Yeah, but it's not too much of a factor right now. That should be Daniel Ricciardo, I feel like. Should be him. And should get out of the way now. Hamilton lost a little bit of ground, as I can see. But should be... Actually, no, he should not be able. Yet he should be able to get a little bit closer once again. Although the blue flags didn't help, surely. So will Pedal Perez get to the podium? I feel like it's looking more and more likely at this point. Track getting wetter. 2.43 millimeters of rain. And now Hamilton once again keeping the pressure up. Try and get shit done. Also, small note, we can see that even without a rear wing, our friend Alex Albon has managed to reach Maloney, and without having too much to wait, he's gonna try and overtake him. So maybe there's still a chance for points for the other Red Bull driver. Right now down the inside he doesn't have too much trouble. Actually, Maloney goes quite wide there. So yeah, the maneuver is quite easy, and now he can chase after Magnussen and then maybe Vesti to try and get some points. So yes, Magnussen chances for points are looking even more dire now, but he's not here to surrender, especially with just 11 laps to go. Hamilton back close to Perez a little bit. We're gonna look quite soon to the battle. While Albon still charging through the field. Let's see, Hamilton versus Perez. Still below the second window. Actually a little bit above now. Clearly Hamilton struggling. While Perez is finding him a little bit more comfortable. Actually, yep, it's gaining a lot more, so I feel like now it's Perez pushing a little bit with the battery. So yes, this battle once again postponed. And due to the postponing, we're gonna go back to our friend Albon, which maybe is on board, fighting against Magnussen and maybe and just maybe Vesti if he manages to go for the last lap on a big charge. So quite a nice fight back for Alex Albon, but of course not the best kind of race he could have hoped for. Yep, getting closer, 0.7. Way better than he would have liked. But now, well, I feel like overtaking Magnussen is going to be a little bit harder than Maloney. Not because Maloney is slower as a driver, but because his car has a lot of issues. And considering Albon still has that rear wing, if a bit of an issue, let's say, he could have a little bit of trouble trying to overtake the Haas. Especially considering that Magnussen doesn't have any issues right now, so... Yep, maybe he's gonna have a little bit of a troublesome time getting past that car, but I feel like he could still try. So let's see what he can do. Raining stronger now, but I feel like it's a little bit too late to change strategies or anything. And Magnussen pushing away to try and get actually close to Vesti, so Magnussen versus Vesti could be real. Let's see. Hamilton clearly not trying, at least for now, to catch Perez, since he's getting to this 2-second window, so his charge getting a little bit of a halt now, and I feel like Perez may have checked out the podium at this point. But the points actually, are still in play, and I feel like the Haas could be a good contender for points, because Vesti, although he has to fight to get the points for himself, he will have to fight Haas and a Red Bull if he really wants them. So a singular point could mean everything for Haas, could mean little for McLaren, and even littler for Red Bull. But still, it's something to keep an eye on. Let's see, 6/10. Both getting closer and closer every corner. McLaren clearly a faster car compared to Haas, but Haas surely not wanting to let this one slide away, so trying their absolute best to try and stay close to Vesti. Vesti still doing a fantastic job though. Lap 64. Should be actually lap 63 for them, since they are lapped, but whatever. Albon going for it, I feel like. Also Vesti getting blue flags from Ocon, I feel like. Let's see, Albon very close this time. Maybe he's trying to go for an attack. And also in all of this there is Ocon in the middle of everyone, who is refusing to give up with the blue flags, because of course he is. So let's see. This could be a chance for Albon. Now Ocon gets out of the way of both cars, but Albon cannot manage to find a gap through after Ocon did this little bit of trolling to the pair of them. Let's see though, because Albon is pushing as hard as he possibly can. He's pulling the pressure. Also Mick Schumacher gets past Maloney, so Maloney racing pace is absolutely dropping. Albon has a little bit of a look on this corner. On the last corner tries to stay as close as possible, and now if he wants to get through he will have to have the top speeds. Also I think I just saw Giovinazzi behind them, so they're gonna get lapped quite easily soon enough. So let's see. Albon finally manages to go for it. This is gonna be a turn 3 maneuver, but it's gonna be also a little bit interrupted by the blue flags because Giovinazzi is there. But let's see. Albon trying to go for it, but he's gonna have to yield mainly for the blue flags, and so he does. So does now Magnussen, letting Giovinazzi pass, of course. Now maybe, with the momentum, will Albon be able to have a chance to have a maneuver, while Hamilton has a little bit of a worse time with the engine, so this marks the end of his podium charge, of course. And maybe could have Alonso in his danger zone, let's say. So as the battle here resumes, and we got on lap 66 out of 71, the battle for a single point continues, and Magnussen, I feel like he lost track of where Vesti is, so I feel like he's not gonna be able to get the Haas to the points, except of course a catastrophe happens, which can still be on the cards, let's say. So as this goes on, as this battle rages on, we are getting to the end game of this race, and still we have Albon versus Magnussen versus somehow Ocon, who is lapped but still enjoying this battle from his point of view. Let us see now. Turn 3 up to turn 4. Will Albon be able to do something now? The time is ticking and Albon has to find a way through, otherwise he won't have any chance from now on. And I feel like this marks the end of Albon's chances to get some points, except of course some catastrophe happens once again. Lap 67. 5 laps to go, according to Packet at least. Magnussen still having the time of his life, and still fighting for, well, P11, although it's not really worth anything here. But still I think it's more of a battle of pride for now, because he wants to prove himself that he can indeed beat a Red Bull with a Haas, which would be kind of impressive really, although it's a little bit of an after Red Bull since Albon has that rear wing damage. Albon getting closer, I feel like this may be hit. Let's see, Albon trying maybe around outside. braking later, but of course the inside line, at least in this game, is a little bit better. In real life, usually it's not the same thing, but yeah, overtaking mode for Albon, and with the battery usage, he manages to get through quite easily. And now I feel like he's gonna try and push as hard as he possibly can to try and catch Vesti. I feel like it's a little bit too late. It's not gonna be quite as likely, but still, as considering also that Vesti just got the blue flags from Giovinazzi, so lost a little bit of time, maybe it's not unlikely that he can get the points. So let's see. He finally managed to overtake, a crucial one he had to do. And now he's on his way to try and stop Vesti from getting a singular point for McLaren. Right now 1.8, 1.9 the gap, lap 68 for the leader. Let us see. 2.0 now the gap. I feel like Vesti is pushing as well, so once again not gonna be easy as he may have expected. All this I can see Norris is close to getting lapped now because of Leclerc's position. So up to P7 almost everyone is lapped, which is kinda crazy. I think Ocon might be a little bit too dominant, but that's okay, I guess. No biggie, as we say. 3 laps to go. We're getting close to the end of the race finally, and Albon, I feel like he doesn't really have the pace to do something. Magnussen sadly develops a mechanical issue, and all of this, Alonso is getting closer to Hamilton, getting all he can out of the issue Hamilton is having with his car. So maybe Alonso is not out of a P4 fight. So after racing alone for all this time, now he's getting closer and closer and closer to Hamilton, and now he's also below a second. He's catched up really quickly. Could this actually be a fastest lap from Alonso? Because that was kind of a crazy pace if you ask me. Let's see. Now through the last 2 corners, Fernando Alonso braking, now getting the slipstream from Hamilton. Yeah, he's pushing with the battery as well. Not the fastest lap, but still, he's pushing indeed. And I feel like he could actually overtake quite easily Hamilton, especially considering how slow he's going with that issue. So a 5-second gap eroded to 0, and now Alonso is going for the P4 position. Let's see. Round the outside of turn 3, he's gonna try. And I feel like this time he has it. And by using battery on the exit, he's able to get through and up into P4. So fantastic maneuver. Hamilton suffering, of course, and having to probably accept P5 if Russell doesn't do anything too crazy. And has that happen, I feel like this is the last we're gonna see of battles on track. So as they actually get, you know, comfortable with their positions, we're gonna concentrate on Leclerc, who's gonna lap Lando Norris quite soon, and start the final lap quite soon as well.
Tyre phase updating.
So there we go. Last sector, last few corners, and now Leclerc is gonna start the final lap of this race, which is gonna be probably a minute and 12 or something to finish this race. No fuel issues, of course, with the car. And now, as Lando gets the blue flags probably, yes he does, Leclerc starts the final lap of the race. Once again, a dominant display from Charles Leclerc. Really, his race could have seemed kinda boring from our point of view, and I mean probably it was, but at the same time it gave us some reason to check out the race from other points of view, like every single other drivers. But now, as Charles goes through the last actual driven section of this track, which is of course sector 2 and sector 3, he can probably have a sight of relief, as he knows that although it was a little bit difficult due to the weather, to the rain and everything, but even with all difficulties aside, he can now go through the last 2 corners and finally win the Austrian Grand Prix as well, and get closer and closer and closer to what could possibly and very likely be a World Driver Championships.
Follow me. Tonight is going to be a big night. Okay, so Fox now needs to confirm it.
Also we can see now Giovinazzi getting to the end of the race to get another P2 for our team. So another 1-2. Perez in the end manages to hold on to P3, so he's gonna finish the race in a 3rd place spot, which is absolutely nice for him. Alonso also was trying to push and get Perez, but as you can see it was a little bit too late, so he couldn't really manage to do so. So Perez gets P3 easily. Behind him, as you can see, Fernando Alonso 1.6 behind. Doesn't manage to get the podium, but still finishes in a fantastic P4. Hamilton holds on to P5. And then George Russell, as one of the last few drivers on track to not get lapped, finishes in P6. An amazing result considering Mercedes' usual pace. And so does Bottas finish the race now. And that being said, now the Austrian Grand Prix is a wrap-up. And we can actually enjoy the post-race thingy, let's say.
È questo il Charles Leclerc che i tifosi vogliono vedere, no?
Oh, è stata una gara straordinaria per il team. Hanno lavorato tutti alla grande, pilota e tecnici inclusi.
Era quello che stavano aspettando ed è giusto celebrare dopo un risultato segnato. Dimmi, come saranno gli animi nel garage della squadra dopo questa conclusione?
Una vittoria e un podio. Onestamente non poteva andare meglio. È un modo trionfale per chiudere questo weekend.
E dall'Austria si chiude questo weekend.
La prossima tappa ci porterà nel cuore del Regno Unito. Preparatevi al grande spettacolo di Silverstone, la culla della Formula 1.
So yeah, now I can't remember what's the next race is. I feel like it should be Hungary, but I'm not too sure. So yeah, with the results we can see that Vesti lost a lot of places. Albon actually gained, even though he had a crash. Mick lost some of them. Maloney lost a lot of them. Valtteri Bottas had an abysmal race, so did Esteban Ocon and Daniel Ricciardo, and Stoffel Van Dorn ended up retiring from the race. This is the 9th round of the whole championship. We're almost halfway through. And as you can see, we are leading the championship with Charles Leclerc quite easily. And so are we with the Constructor Championship, and I feel like we are a little bit out of reach for everyone. Also, Alpine managed to get a single point at some point, so good for them. And there is no team without any points, so good stuff. So DHL awards, of course, we don't care, and this is the pit stop recap for our team. That being said, I feel like this was a pretty normal race, I'd say. And with this, I'd say we see you maybe later on when we do the next race, which I can't remember where it's gonna be. So see you later, lads, and bye bye.